Hey everybody, 49. So I want to tell y'all about my therapy session. It's going to be like a cool 5 minutes of why I think we should all go to therapy or just have some type of therapy. But I'm going to just keep it on myself. Just bear with me. Boom. So I have the therapy session, and when we start, she's like, oh God, this job. Sorry about that, guys. She's like, oh, Alexis, do you feel like you have any childhood trauma? So I'm like, well, I feel like this, like compared to other people's childhoods and what I know, what I've seen for myself or what they told me, I don't really feel mine was that bad. You understand? So that was my response to her. I'm like, I feel like, whatever happened in the past, I learned from it, I grow from it, and I just kind of keep it pushing. Boom. This way we're about to get surgical. So she said, well, Alexis, that answer is kind of complex for me. And I'm like, well, why? And she's like, why would you ever compare your childhood to somebody else? And I started thinking, I'm like, well, she said, I always minimize the things that happened to me. I didn't realize that I do that, but that's something that I learned. I said, oh, all right. So after that, I already knew how this was going to go. So I'm like, all right. Well, I didn't really know, but I kind of figured it was about to get surgical. So she was like, during our sessions, I really want to start peeling back the real onion layers, because we've been peeling some stuff back. We've been talking about some things and everything like that. So she actually said, so you don't feel like you have any childhood trauma? I'm like, no. She asked me, do I feel like I have childhood trauma? And I gave her that answer. Boom. Then she goes in to say, well, do you think that your childhood trauma has any effects on you today? I'm like, in a good way, because I realized, one, I can't do anything about the past. I can't change anything that happened. All I can do is learn from the things that I couldn't control as when I was a kid. That's all I could say. Here's when we got deep, y'all. I need y'all to strap in for this one. Boom. So she's like, oh, well, then answer me this. I said, okay, I'm listening. She said, if you don't feel like your childhood trauma affects you today, why do you feel the need to always try to force difficult people to stay in your life? I said, oh, shit. What? I said, hold on now. Hold on. You're getting too deep now. I said, what you said? I heard what she said, because, I can hear her, right? So I said, so what you said? And she was like, why do you always find yourself fighting to keep difficult people in your life that you're not going to get what you want? You're not going to get what you deserve. Like, you're setting yourself up for failure every time. She said, and I don't want you to answer that. She said, because she's been my therapist for a while. And the reason why I have her is because the reason I do therapy is because some days I feel unhinged and I need somebody to help me regulate all these emotions, and especially that anxiety when I'm like, and I don't even know why I'm, like, I don't even know what that's about. Like, I just have moments of, and it's really weird. So, I need help with that. But back to the situation at hand. Boom. So she's like, why do you feel the need to always want to fight to have difficult people in your life? I'm like, what the hell going on? I didn't know these onions was about to be peeled back like this. When you peel onions, you start crying. My eyes swelled up. She was like, it's okay to cry. I'm like, I'm good. But an assignment, in my therapy sessions, like, I go through BetterHelp. So they ask you if you want a therapist that's going to give you like homework assignments or whatever. So I'm like, yeah, I need to do a little homework. I don't mind writing down some of, taking time to really think, because I feel like I haven't been doing a lot of self-reflection of why I do the things I do, or why, because a lot of the times it's like, well, why is this happening to me? Or why is this doing this? And it's like, it really got a lot to do with you, sis. You need to take a step back, watch yourself, and figure that out. But that was the question that she asked me. Why do I feel like I have to fight to have difficult people in my life? And this is not just intimate relationships. No. This is friendships as well. Difficult people. Why am I fighting to have difficult people in my life? This any type of person that's in my life. Like, why am I fighting for that? And I'm like, I'm not gonna lie. My first instinct was to defend myself and be like, I ain't fighting. But I'll be fighting and shit. You know what I mean? So I had this shirt is nice. This is beautiful. I should have wore a chain. Yeah, so I just wanted to share that with y'all, because this therapy session was interesting. Like, I had to wipe my face and get my eyes together. I was really crying when I thought about that. Like, that is so sad. And you know what I would say? It's like, the good and bad thing about therapy for me is like, it forces you. And they don't force you. Let me rephrase. The therapist doesn't force you, but the process forces you to really take a look at yourself. Like, I'm talking about not just all the good, oh, big baby, you know, the flowers and rainbows and stuff. I'm talking about it really makes you take a look at you. And it makes you figure out who you really are. Like, it's like the old you versus the new you. And a lot of the times people try to do this on their own. Me, I'm not gonna front. I don't want to do stuff alone. I've been doing stuff alone my whole life. Catch it? So I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. Like, I don't feel like that's conducive for me and the way my life is going. Like, I don't have to do things for myself. I don't always have to figure it out for myself. So basically what I'm saying is, get your ass some therapy. It's not that expensive, especially if you got a platinum grade A Medicaid card. Father God, you know, you don't have to tell anybody. People think you have to tell people. I just share this because I see people every day that I'm like, nah, you need to talk to somebody, bro. That shit is crazy. Why are you going through this? You know, and I can't really say anything because that's not my place, but I will say on this public platform, like, get you some help. Ain't nothing wrong with that. You know, that's a trauma response, trying to figure out everything for yourself in your own head every day, all day, just in there. You, your ego, me, myself, and I, all of them. And some other folks, too, that you haven't figured out that you had in your head that makes you the sociopath that you might be or might be becoming. So that's all I got to say. For it and I out. Yeah.